Whew.
Mm.
And here we are, my friends, another gorgeous spring day on the east coast of United States. And here is Coaching Journey with Jola. And Jola Pypno-Crapanzano here with unbelievable guest coming to us from the future, my friends. She's coming already from Monday morning from Australia. Sarah Lines. Welcome, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, I'm so well. Thank you so much for asking.
It is amazing because I am so thrilled now in this world where I am unable to travel, which is one of my biggest passions in life. I at least am able to move daily from one person to another, just wherever you guys all over the world. Because, guys, I just want to tell you again, Sarah is yet another author of our amazing book one that became an international bestseller. And we will be talking about Sarah's input in this book and her chapter. And it's just fascinating story. But I would like to do an honors first and tell all the titles that go behind Sarah's name because she got so many amazing things that she actually can perform with her clients. I don't want to mess up. So buckle up and listen to this. She is a chakra expert, 5D quantum light grandmaster. So she's actually grandmaster in energy healing Reiki. She is a spiritual awakening mentor, multidimensional channel mediation teacher, happiness life coach, and international best-selling author, which I already said. Sarah, welcome. I am so impressed with everything you stand for. And
Thank you so
today,
much.
since I'm so inspired being with such a, star of energy healing, I'm going to see if I can do it right. Since we are live on Facebook, I'm actually going to say hello to everyone and see if we can actually maybe interact today because I promised yesterday Nikki from California that I'm gonna get better at it. So I won't. Oh my goodness, this is like a never-ending learning process. So we have actually few people watching us. My friends, whoever watching us, can you please drop in a comments below, where are you from, where you joining us? If you're joining us live right now, send us like a flutter of hearts, send us some likes. We would love that, and we would know, and just introduce yourself. And then later on, if you watch it on replay, just put hashtag replay. We would love it as well. Sarah's energy vibes will go through the ones present right now and the ones that join us in the future, right?
That's right. Yes.
Amazing. I would really, really, really hope that people will pop in and just ask questions, right, Sarah? Because that's something
Yeah,
we want to spread all this knowledge.
absolutely.
So let's just start. I always start with this. Tell me, please, how is Australia these days? You are right now, you're saying on the East Coast, yes? Or no,
Yeah,
right now
I'm
you're
on
in
the
the
south
south
coast.
of coast of Australia.
We're in a little remote town here, so we're mostly unaffected, although the all the borders are closed, I believe. Some states are on lockdown, I believe, but we're pretty lucky here. Yes, there's rations on toilet paper still,
Oh my
but
God,
apart
this
from
is a
that,
global interesting
yes,
enough, right? This went viral. Toilet paper issue went viral to every continent in
I
the world.
know,
Holy mackerel. What the
I
heck?
know.
So anyway, that's great. So your life is still pretty much normal, and let's keep it that way,
Yes,
baby, right? Because
yes,
you guys, as the rest of us on this part of the world, of this hemisphere, we're going into warmer months. On the other hand, for you, it's going to be a winter now, right?
it is. Yes,
So that's the months that hopefully you guys stay safe. If you already took precautions, maybe fingers crossed will be everything okay. So I
yes,
normally ask at this point people, how they dealing. But since you guys almost normal, I love it. Thank God somewhere is almost
yes.
normal. So Sarah, I would love you to tell me. This is another question that I'm always really curious about. When was the first time in your life that something in your heart told you that you want to be of service, that you want to help other people? That moment of a little fluttering here.
Yeah, that is a feeling that has always been with me actually from a very young girl. I wanted to care for others, I wanted to help others. So I thought that meant becoming a nurse.
Mm.
And so that was the dream that I followed for many years, thinking that was how I could best help people in the world. But as it came to it, I became a nurse and then a midwife.
Yeah,
I was having terrible issues
you got the
with
degree in
addiction.
midwifery, and then something
Yes,
clicked after that. You knew you felt that
yes.
deeper calling to more.
There was definitely a deeper calling, and I was at a fork in the road where I could go and work as a midwife or follow this nudge. And the nudge was just so strong. I really had to look into it. And that's when I first found Reiki. And then I was thinking, wow, I could actually help people globally with this, not just be, what's the word, sort of locked into a ward in a hospital, you
Yes,
know?
yes,
So that's pretty much how it happened for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it is fascinating because now I'm gonna swiftly go to your chapter, because when you start reading it, I got goosebumps all over my body. As a caveat, I mentioned that in couple lives already before. About 6 months ago or so, I joined academy in England that I'm studying very deeply right now. All the topics that you actually touch up in your chapter,
Yeah.
healing, everything related to energy. I got a course for actual energy healing as well, but I don't want
Cool.
too thin spread. Maybe at one point in the future. But I went into feng shui. I went to all kinds of different unbelievable,
Beautiful.
and everything that I once thought was, like, I call it woo-woo, makes
Yes.
so much sense right now. Everything falls in place. Things
Yeah.
make me sometimes want to go like, OMG, where have you been all your life? Not knowing, but
Yeah.
feeling that there was something, right?
Yes.
And so for you, it was also coming from deep understanding that you weren't always this Sarah, right? You were at one point a person whose life was in ruin. Tell us
Yeah.
about this, because I want everyone understand, whoever is listening to this, watching this, no
Yeah.
matter where you are right now, no matter where you're gonna find yourself after this situation, we don't know how long this is gonna last. We don't know where we're gonna end up. But the
Yeah.
point is, and this, I want to throw this hope in everybody, no matter where life will throw you, there is so much hope that everything gonna be okay. Sarah is a living, breathing example of it. So Sarah, tell us what happened in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it started very young with me. I felt very alone in the world, even though I had I had parents, I had a sister. I just felt different from everyone else. I felt alone, and this feeling of emptiness carried me through my adolescent years, and it was getting stronger and stronger. And when I picked up my first drink, I think I was 14 or 15, I had this feeling of instant numbness, and I didn't have to feel this strange pain that I was feeling, and I didn't feel so self-conscious through drinking. And so that was when I believe I became an alcoholic, was from that first drink. I kept chasing that feeling to numb the pain. um, Skip ahead or later, a few years later, I found drugs. And this for me was even better than the alcohol because I didn't have to feel anything at all. Became highly addicted to a drug called meth. And through that, I lost my children, I lost my home. It felt like I had lost my soul, to be honest. I was homeless. I was in trouble with the law. And at that point in my life, it felt like there was just no light at the end of the tunnel. I felt worthless. And I was sick and tired of myself. I really was. So it took many rock bottoms for me to hit the point where I was completely done, on my knees, and asking for help. And that's when I found recovery, and my journey started from there. It's almost like it was a second lease on life.
Wow. Like I said,
Yeah.
then reading just a little bit, and now you went even deeper with that. And thank you for that. This is every single time somebody has that just like has the courage to share something like this makes me, wow, I can't even explain this. So thank you for being so brave. And for you, that moment when you hit that second, third, fifth rock bottom was the moment when you actually was introduced to some sort of mentor slash coach, right? Wasn't it? Or something like that?
That's right. My first mentor was actually my AA mentor. I was going to Alcoholics Anonymous, and she took me under her wing, this beautiful soul, and really helped carry me through my early years of my recovery. And that was when I saw the value in having another person who has been through the same or similar life experiences to really help you in
Yes.
life.
And then, so at first, it's just that I want to survive without all these extra substances that were helping me, right? So it's like a fight, like a struggle, like you basically like a wild animal in a cage trying to break, right? Like I can see, like I've never personally experienced it, but I watched and read books and watched movies and read books, and I've seen how hard, how incredibly hard it is. And you know what? A lot of people try, not everybody succeed, right? So
Absolutely.
this is another amazing thing. You were able to succeed. So now you got better. And then how does this all happen that you all of a sudden now end up going into like the opposite spectrum? Now here you are.
I know.
Master, a Reiki and everything. And I'm like, what is going on?
Well, that's right. And I never thought it possible to have a happy life, let alone what I have now. So it was a slow journey to start with. About a year into recovery was the start of my spiritual awakening. And I feel like the catalyst for that was loss. My grandmother had passed away. We had lost a baby. My partner at the time, who is now my husband, we had lost a baby, and also a young girl who was very dear to my heart. Now, this all happened in a very short period of time, and that's when I went on the search. I had to know more. I had to know what happens when we die. I read so many books, and it just went from there. Shortly afterwards, I don't know how Reiki found me, but it did. And that was when I was getting the nudges. Do I go and work in a hospital as a professional, or do I take this on a bigger scale?
And I want to just point out what you just said. I don't know how this happened, that Reiki found me. This is the very important piece here I want to mention to everyone, because I feel that there is no coincidences in life. Everything happens for a reason. If you meet somebody in that airport that you didn't see 15, 20 years, you better pay attention to that person showing up on your path. If you actually talking to someone and the person brings it up, if you are presented with an opportunity, think about it. For you, it was this. For me, so many things. My high performance coaching appeared through stages of other stuff I was doing, crazy stuff. And the whole life switches, right? It's like a total, complete, oh goodness, unbelievable stuff. So you started working with those new things, first studying them, I'm sure, right? And getting understanding what's going on. But the one thing I always wondered, and you're the perfect person to ask about it. So in my mind, I always thought that people who are hypnotists, people who are some sort of energy healers, and I knew that people are able to heal, not necessarily being right next to you and touching you, but it's possible through even internet, it's possible long distances and whatnot, because the energy is traveling, right? The energy is everywhere. We connected, and those were the things I didn't understand. And I'd be honest with you, like 100%, I understand it better, but do I fully understand? I don't think so, you know? And so, so I always thought that you have to have like a skill, like an ability, like something that you're born with. And then this past year, at my mastermind in Utah, I met a hypnotist who told me, no, actually, we all have these skills. It just depends what we do with them. So everybody has some sort of hypnotic skills. Then I learned, I believe from your chapter, that everybody has ability to heal with energy, just not everybody's doing this. Please tell me about that, because that is fascinating.
Yeah. So it is my firm belief we're all born psychic. We're all born natural healers. But through childhood wounding, conditioning, and the way we're brought up, we form all of these beliefs around life and what life should look like for us. We form our own reality, and it's through the process of awakening that we start to, like you mentioned it before, it's been happening for you. You've started to notice things, you're starting to learn things. And I believe this is a journey that we're all on in this lifetime, is the process of awakening, which is also a bit of a process of unlearning what we know.
Oh my goodness, 100% bingo. That is the
Yeah.
craziest part. I'm just like going through my head in this thinking, like it's so valuable that you mentioned that. What would happen if certain things were either introduced to children or taught early in their childhood? How different would that be,
Yes.
right? Like, we don't even entertain that idea. I mean, I know that these days they have yoga classes for children and some meditations I've seen online for children. And so that was introduced to them obviously earlier. That, listen, I am still not like 100% convinced that meditation is my vice, but I'm starting to appreciate it,
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, and so true what you just said. I believe now, things are changing, times are changing, people are waking up, and it's going to be starting with the children now. So we have adults that are waking up to new truths and new ways of being, and they are going to be able to assist the new babies being born on this earth, so that they don't have to go through the wounding, the conditioning, and they can just come through as a new generation of awakened little beings.
Wow. That is something else. And honestly, it just came to me while I'm talking to you. I never like really spent much time thinking about it. But for me, the most fascinating thing is that, first of all, we are unable to really predict what's going to happen, but we are truly in control of what we can help to happen by the way simply we think, right? This was that moment of I will let you do all the talking about it, because I could never even come close to your expertise. But let's start from the beginning. So you are now starting experiencing, learning, studying these things. And when was your like a first, let's say, success story? Let's say with energy healing for now, or maybe because you also are very good at chakras clearing, right? So all these energy centers we have in our body, you are able to clear. And then, so when was the first time that you actually did something and somebody says like, wow, I'm a different person. You just like healed me. You just like brought me back to life. Please tell me about that, because that had to be super cool.
Yes. So to be honest, I couldn't think of any one particular person, because I have helped with so many. But early on, when I didn't have the confidence in my abilities, and I was doing free healings, I noticed when I was tuning into these people's energies, whether in the physical or by distance, I could sense and see blockages. I could feel where the imbalances were. Sometimes a guide would come through, and I thought, oh, wow. So all of this through healing, like my psychic abilities were awakened. And it was back then that I thought, I can't stop at this for people, because they can go away after having a healing and feel fantastic, but there is always a deeper meaning and a deeper reason behind the block in the first place. And I believe I talk about that in the chapter. There is always a spiritual meaning behind a physical symptom in the body.
Yeah.
And that's why I went on to take this to a larger scale, because I wanted to help empower people, empower their own lives and bodies by knowing why they're feeling a pain, and what they can do to keep those energies clear in the future. And I believe that's where the big magic happens, is going away with the knowledge to empower themselves to keep their energies clear.
Yes, and that's so big, because when I did my first course on chakras and all that, clearing them, and how, some
Seems to have cut out. I don't know if you can see me.
out there in the world, right? So it is just put them.
So it paused for that whole what you were just talking about. It paused completely on my screen. I don't know if it did on Facebook. So I actually didn't hear what you said, sorry.
Yeah, I know. So I feel like I also you're being frozen on a screen, and I don't know how much you
Okay.
heard. So what I was saying is that I want to know, how do you actually right now help people, and what are the areas that you can actually help people? And so let's say if you have a woman coming to you and you can clearly say, well, your energy chakras have to be opened, right, or cleared, or whatever, or this woman needs some Reiki healing. Can you maybe show the differences between the things? Because like I said, I would like to make this point, and it's, I never feel bad about admitting that I don't know something, because I'm always curious to learn. And I am only half a year ago, I was only half a year ago really introduced to the deep concepts that we're talking about today. I bet there is a lot of people out there who are still not familiar with this as well. So what is the difference, for example, from energetic point of view, between, let's say, clearing the chakras, and that would be improving someone's health and well-being, or by Reiki healing, and what the Reiki actually can heal?
Okay, so really, to be honest, it's one in the same to me. Healing energies are healing energies. So sorry if I ask, but what do you actually mean? Like, do you want me to discern between Reiki and just clearing the chakras, or?
Yes, if you can just say how that actually plays out. Like, let's say you have someone coming in, and let's say you can, like, because obviously you're almost like a doctor, right? Somebody shows up and they don't know what's wrong with them. I would not know. Listen, very simple. Like, even though I'm pretty talkative person, I was telling Nikki yesterday, this video thing, very uncomfortable. 6 months ago, I would not go on a camera. I would not do that. I put myself through a very rigorous test to actually start doing this. She says, oh, I would never know it. Well, right now, after I've done some of these things, I'm better. So apparently there was something with my throat chakra. Apparently there's other things in my head, so now I know it. There's other things. I was working on my base chakra, that the crazy part is, worked with a coach who cleared my base chakra that day. The whole thing was starting happening here with the virus and all the pandemic. I come from work. I said to my husband, we're going to the supermarket. We're making shopping. Just the feeling, I need to feel safe in a house, have enough food. So it's fascinating. But I want to know, so someone comes to you, how do you determine? Do you put them down and you basically feel their energy? How does it work?
Okay, so I used to have clients come in and do the physical healings. Now I do them via distance. So for me, there is no difference, okay? I still go through an initial assessment to find out what's going on for them, what is their biggest struggle, and then I can determine which chakra is most out of balance. So like you said, you were having trouble showing up, being online, maybe speaking your truth online for fear of, conflict or repercussions. That is a throat chakra issue, okay? So each chakra will resonate with different problems in the body, okay, on a physical and an emotional level. So for example, the sacral chakra, the sacral chakra, this is the seat of our emotions. So someone really high in emotions, maybe can't control their emotions, overreact, will have a problem in the sacral chakra. on a physical level, they may have problems with their reproductive systems, menstrual cycles.
Yeah, and because all these chakras are related to certain organs in a body. So if the
Yes.
chakra is not properly working, then obviously you
Yes.
may have issues with the health in that area. That was another fascinating thing for me,
That's
right?
exactly right.
And it's just, wow. And then I give you another cool example. And again, it happened in one of our sessions that I had, and it was again about the heart chakra. So that one, by being beautifully open, you are able now to receive, like you are a receiver, right? So I mentioned already in other interview. So I finished this session, and 2 minutes later, I got this text, and I received like a nice amount of money, and I was just like, what just happened? It was like I couldn't explain it. It was totally unexpected. So, I want to be that person that if I can help myself, help anyone else, why not? Right? That's fascinating.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love hearing stories like that, because this is exactly how energy clearing works. It's energy. We are energy. So when we're clearing these blockages out, we're opening up to receive not just love, but also money and other things in our lives. It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful thing to
And
watch.
and like I said, so many people, including me, half a year ago, would think about it sort of woo, and it's normal. Not like I said, not everybody is ready today. I wasn't ready then, and I'm still 100% not ready. I am just getting there. This is the process, how you call it, of awakening. But
That's
I
exactly
love.
right.
But I love to bring Albert Einstein's quote, right? That everything is
Yes.
energy. And if we match that frequency of that reality that we want to be in, I'm just like paraphrasing this,
Yes.
then there is no other way but we're going to match that reality. And guess what? In college and then in my actually high school studies, I was at a really, really, really high level of physics studying.
Yeah.
But at that point, I didn't connect these two things, that this is related actually to how I act in my own life.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. Absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah.
So back to the patient. So now you established, and then you saying right now you don't even meet people, right? You do it through distance.
Yes. Yeah, I do it all via distance now. We moved to our dream home on the coast, like I mentioned
Congratulations, by the
earlier.
way.
Thank
I
you.
know, I remember there was like when we were writing the book, you were just moving, correct?
Yes.
Yes, because I
We
remember
were.
you were like showing that video and like, I'm here, I got this, my little, oh, it was so cute. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's so good.
Yeah,
So
so because of that reason, I'm quite remote. It doesn't make a difference to me personally, because I'm still serving on a large scale. I'm still serving globally, across the waters, which is so beautiful. And it's the same process for me, like I mentioned before. I talk to the client first, see what's going on for them, then I know which chakra is having the most problems. But first sessions, I always go over the whole body, just to see if I'm picking up on anything else in the body. So I'm going over those 7 major chakras, but also all of the little minor chakras in their body. There's over 100. So
yes, that's like the next level. That's like going from kindergarten to a college and then going for PhD of chakras. I am not ready for that yet, but I'm happy someone is good. You know what? That's awesome. That's so awesome. So now how about Reiki? Reiki is the same thing. You don't need to have a person right in front of you to actually do the healing with your hands.
that's right. So with Reiki, that modality, there's a few different levels, and the beginning level is where you are just learning about Reiki, where the chakras are, and self-healing. So level 1's all about self-healing. Level 2 is when you step into healing others. Okay, and then the final level is becoming a master, which basically means that you have access to other symbols and master symbols, and you can teach others the process of Reiki. So there's so many different healing modalities out there, but all roads lead to the same destination, really.
Now, another question came to mind. With problems that you had in the past, everything that you went through, alcohol, drugs, right, all that stuff. do you now see that stuff that you know, how you can heal people? Can you help people with those problems as well?
I believe anything can be helped with energy clearing and energy work. In saying that, I'm a big advocate on, if you need to go to rehab, you go to rehab. If you need to continue on in fellowship meetings for that extra support, you do that. So it's a bit like the disclaimers we put in books. I'm not here to,
Yeah. Yes. Got it.
yeah. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, not here to replace any medical advice, but here as that complementary therapy. But absolutely, yes, I have a lot of people that reach out to me that are in addiction with all sorts
Yeah.
of things. Yeah.
Yes, I love how you say it, that now is the time to make that magic happen, just like how do you see it from like perspective of your energy work?
Mm.
This situation that globally hit us right now, right? The pandemic. That is something that, again, you mentioned in the book that, let's say, the fires in Australia earlier or
Yeah.
Brazil, right? If we can, as a global population, connect together energetically,
Yeah.
and if people, let's say, meditate on something, send very powerful energetic signals, well, you believe that this caused the rain actually fall in Australia, right? Or like
Yes.
that stuff of, I remember a couple of days ago, I saw on different little signals coming through social media to me that there was another big massive action happening in order to heal the planet from coronavirus, right? Whatever.
Mm.
But so please explain about this. How is it that we are able to go from, let's say, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, in Australia, like we can globally connect at one level and then just like heal something? How does it actually work?
Yes. So for us humans, we believe in time and space as a separation energy. But in reality, time and space are an illusion. They do not exist. Now, this can be a hard concept for our human minds to grasp,
Mm-hmm.
but this is exactly how I can record an energy healing video, and someone might watch that a year later and still receive the exact same benefits from that energy healing video. So when people across the globe connect in, they could be doing it now, they could be doing it later, but all with that same specific intention. That energy is going to hit that point. It's going to hit that intention. Intention is so powerful, and I talk about this a lot. Intention is just magical. You can intend something and it is so. But we can get caught up in, old beliefs, and this is how so many of us get blocked, and we feel like we can't move forward because we form these beliefs that we can't.
Yes, that
Okay.
is it. That is exactly
Yeah.
it. So from the intention, then you have these powerful thoughts, and then you move them towards actions. And obviously, once you act on something, then the magic happens, right? And that's
Yes. And love is such a powerful energy, like the most powerful energy. So when people are sending all of this love, this heart light out to a specific intention, it's so powerful.
yeah. And there was another concept that really was the first one that I started paying attention personally to energy, was that I didn't realize how powerful the thoughts could be, right? And again, for someone who watches this and it's already like expert in it, like yeah, sure. But like I said, there's a lot of people who are me 6 months ago that I couldn't even put my mind around it properly. And mind you, I've already done good 3 years of deep personal development
Yeah.
work. But the energy stuff and understanding how you can literally change the way you feel just by changing the way you think,
Yeah.
and change so many things in your life by the way you think, and how you basically what taught you. So people ask me right now, how come we're like in a desperation, we're like so upset, we kind of anxiety is hitting, depression, and here you are coming like nothing happens. I said, not that I'm prone to all of this, but I'm making all this work, like I'm priming myself for this. Like I put the positivity in my head. I meet amazing people who lift me up. I learn, I study. I'm like forever grateful for all of this. Like each of these interviews right now, for example, like I am waiting for it because I know I'm gonna get new things that will uplift me, and I'm gonna be more equipped into those tools that help me out in the future, you know. So I love it, absolutely love it.
Yes, absolutely. So do I've been on that similar journey of self-development. It all, you know, started with my awakening, and that's when I first realized, oh wow, our beliefs have such a strong hold on how we want to live our lives. I better get into that.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
and you know, and that would be interesting again to go back a little bit to how you are this desperate, unhappy woman who
Mm,
was trying to please everybody and
yeah.
doing things just because you thought that was the right way to do. And then you flipped it all around, and now you're this fulfilled, happy,
Mm,
from homeless to having dream home, from, you know,
yeah.
addicted to a healer. I mean, this is just unreal, right? And it's
It
and it's
is.
happened, and it's so Sarah, tell us what else is the area of your genius, what else you help people with.
Mm. So my specialty at the moment is helping women to really unleash that goddess power, because I believe there is a goddess within each and every one of us. And now is the perfect time moving out of this old masculine energy into the feminine. And
Me,
women,
me, 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 me,
yes,
me. I'm a perfect example. You know, being so freaking always thinking everything is numbers, and that comes from me being
yeah,
mathematician and physics majors and all that stuff, and all computer programming and all that stuff. And now we're talking this feminine energies.
yeah, yeah. The energy of flow and intuition
Oh,
and
another magic word. Yes, flow. Yes, baby. When you
yeah,
do what you love,
yeah.
when you're in it and you feel it, and you there's no that. I love now how when I meet so many women who are in your field, and they always say, um, I don't feel aligned. I'm like, what do you mean? We gotta do it. No, no, no. I don't feel aligned.
Yeah.
You know. And now
Yeah.
you can actually now I know what that means. How many times in the past I pushed and I forced myself to do something because I thought it was the
Mm,
right, and it never
yeah.
really turned out 100% the way I wanted.
Yeah, and that happens when we're not listening to our intuition, or that those inner nudges we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And that's my big vision, is for women, especially in this powerful time of awakening, like I mentioned earlier. Now's the time, like I said, to make magic happen. I believe everyone has the opportunity for themselves to make these divine transformations and feel like the goddess that they actually are, but maybe they don't have the confidence to step into this beautiful way of being for themselves. So that's what I would really love to see for more women in the world at the moment.
Yes. And what would be your like advice to people who feel right now like really lost? Like there's women right now not knowing. Obviously some of them still have some sort of incomes coming either through the maybe spouses still working, but there's a lot of drama right now happening, and there will be obviously a lot of hurt people. I did this questionnaire over the last couple of days because I'm preparing to participate in another book project, and I needed some data for that, but I also wanted to see how people act. And because I'm very positive, I'm super always trying to look for positives and optimistic in any
Yeah.
situation, right? So I asked, one of the questions was, please tell me one thing that was good that this pandemic actually brought into your life. And I was so pleasantly surprised. Almost everyone, maybe 2-3 exceptions only out of like really hundreds, was I threw it in like many different Facebook communities. And people were coming with minimum one, but sometimes multiple good things. And they were actually shocked how many people were looking for, because this is exactly it. We can now do things that either we didn't have time for, or we actually forgot that they're important, or we were neglecting them because there was this rushing and this and then going after something that we think it's very important, but truly when you really know, like, you know, from the how you lost everything, right? You lost it all. And it didn't matter because it was here. Please tell me about this, because that I kind of want people to know that no matter what happens right now, there is a hope. And how do you flip it? Not just, you know, obviously your case, but how do you flip it?
Yeah, so what's coming to me right now is the word surrender. And I'm saying that because I spoke about unlearning, and a part of this big process is dying a bit of an ego death. And for that to happen, we see a lot of people, they lose it all, or they get terribly sick and they have to pause. There is a bigger reason behind everything. And this was always going to happen on a global scale. Something big was always going to happen for the world to have to pause and have a really good look around, have a really good look at what is happening. You know, we've got people that have been forced to step out of the rat race, which is amazing. So much stress and overwhelm around having to go to work in corporate jobs or whatever they were doing every day. And now they have the ability to work at home. We're seeing Mother Earth heal herself.
Yeah, I often tell, like in my high performance coaching, like for me, that mission is to help people live to the fullest. Like tomorrow is not promised. Live it, enjoy it, love it every single day. And sometimes I said, when was the last time you stepped outside on your grass that you actually see the droplets or dew on it? When was the last time that you stopped and you looked at the beautiful, like nature just awakening? Like right now here in United States, we have this unbelievable spring and flowers everywhere. So we go for walks, and it's me and hundreds of people. There's jokes about it that when we were able to go for walks, nobody was walking. Now that they tell you kind of stay home, we're still allowed. It's not like I'm breaking any law. We actually are allowed to still go. Some parks are still open. But now everybody's going, right? And people start seeing what they never saw before. That is just like one example.
That's the beauty of what is happening at the moment. We can actually take a step back and enjoy and appreciate the life that we have at the moment. And that is the true beauty of it.
Yes. You know what I love about your whole aura here? You are so peaceful. Like I give it to me, like send it via internet, because I am anxious, and you know what, I am doing my best to keep calm and keep happy and but obviously when 2 minutes going on a news, and I try not to watch at all. I was actually for good, I'm very proud of it. Last 2 years I don't watch on average more than 2 hours of television a week, not a day, a week. But now I just need maybe 2 minutes just to see where we at, if I need maybe know something important. But this could really screw your head if you too much on television and stuff. But
I agree, yes.
Yeah, but that, to be with that like peace and that like calmness that you exude is like amazing. So good. So good.
Thank you. Yeah, and I myself haven't watched news in a very, very, very long time. It's been years.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what that's done for me too, because many years ago I would get caught up in what was happening around the planet. I would get stressed, I would get overwhelmed, I would get highly anxious because I felt so powerless.
Yeah.
So taking that out of my life is
and that also brings me to another topic that you discuss. I don't want to say the name wrong, but it was something about the law of mirroring, right? The realities. And it's like it goes about everything that's happening around us, like we are people acting. It's a good example I read once about if you're on the street and you see bunch of people running, you're not gonna think what's happening. You're kind of gonna start running with them. If it's like a large group of people, you're gonna mirror their behavior, right?
Yeah.
So that's just an example of one activity, but that goes for everything. If you surround yourself with people that are downers, that are
Yes.
have constantly they like energy vampires, I call them. They will
Yes.
suck right out of you. Please tell me, how do you look at these things? Do you find these people in your life? Can you put the shield around you? How do you deal with that?
Yes. I'm just thinking about where to start. So yes, I had a process, again, coming into recovery and through my awakening, of realizing this very thing. We mirror our reality. And so I had to leave a lot of people behind.
Mm.
Yes. Learn boundaries. And one big thing I do every day, if not definitely twice a day, is popping an energetic field around me, between me and not just the energy vampires, but the energy of the world. Especially at the moment, there's a lot of fear. And I will notice if I've forgotten to shield myself that morning, I will start feeling maybe heavy in the heart or a little bit anxious.
So
Because
talking
we
of
do.
this, do you need to have a special knowledge to be able to put that sort of field, or can you learn it how to do it? Or does that have to be done by somebody like yourself to put
Yeah,
that field?
not at all. And
Will
I
you teach
teach
us how
all
to
of
do
my
it?
clients, definitely, this is something I believe everyone should know how to do. And again, you can do it yourself simply with the power of your intention. So
Mhm.
I started off by imagining a big golden bubble of light around me. And inside that big golden bubble of light, I would intend that only loving energies could enter my space for the day. And this was something that took a bit of practice. And over the years, I have found that it's strengthened in a way. So it's more effective with more practice.
Yes,
So it's a very simple technique that anybody can do to shield their energies, especially at this time. If you have an energy vampire, as we call them, in your life, but also more importantly with the collective energies at the moment being quite fear-based. Yes.
yeah, yes. That is something that I feel you can get through, because all meditation, not all, but lots of meditation elements are based on that, surrounding yourself with that light, right? Love and light, and
Yeah.
grounding yourself and connecting to the source and all that stuff. So that basically, that intention could be, so that's why every person who you work with, that is really accomplished, some sort of like incredibly, powerful, and not just thought leaders, but businessmen, and like really powerful high performers. One of the most powerful things that each of them will tell you they do is they meditate. And
Yes.
for me, again, 6 months ago, get lost. Meditation, and now. And mind you, I was thinking, I did well for myself without knowing all of that. I'm just trying to think, oh my goodness, how much better I can get now knowing all these things, right?
Yeah.
It's like truly process of awakening for me, and I'm not feeling bad, not knowing that in the past, because we all are
Yeah.
human, right? And there's
Yeah.
always a process of learning. I'm gonna see if we have any questions, Sarah,
Sure.
and if there is none, we will, yeah, I don't see questions, but it is awesome that we are able to, touch up on this topic, because honestly, I be, how should I put it? I'm fascinating by this, and I know that just by knowing and doing the right thing, we can help people so much. I feel like in my immediate life, there is so many people, if they could only apply the positivity just to the thoughts, right? Just to the thoughts, just that first one element, how much
Yeah.
would have changed for better for them.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad that you're doing these interviews. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing for everybody at the moment. It's a great time for everyone to be realizing that the power is actually within their hands. We don't need to feel powerless and that everything is happening to us. I believe that life happens for us, and
Yeah.
for people that might be in a rut, you might not want to hear that, because we're taking ownership of how we feel.
Yes, yes, that's again going back to get rid of that victim mentality, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, just forgive, just let
Yes.
go. And like you said, that
Powerful.
process of surrendering, like surrendering, believe that you are
Mm,
taken care of. Like
yeah.
another fascinating thing I can tell you is that when I speak with my clients now, and I'm trying to bring these elements slowly, and they work so good. Like you ask someone, so okay, tell me about this disruptive time in your life, and believe me, people had shit happening to them,
Yeah.
like you can't even imagine, like one
Mm,
after another after another. It's
yeah.
like, don't ask if there's possibly more, because if you ask, it will happen to you. So, but it was already so
Yeah.
bad, right? And yet, even for a person like this, and I said, okay, tell me, did you survive? Wow, you did. So what does that mean? That
Mm,
no matter how bad the situation is, you made it through. What does it tell you? What you can learn from this, right?
exactly right. That's exactly right.
So if you just surrender, let it be, like right now, maybe a lot of people are in distress. Trust that you are taken care of,
Yes.
and something will actually happen. And
Mm,
you know, I want to say it like that, I believe it 95%. I don't know if I believe it 100%. I want to so badly believe it 100%,
yeah.
but I'm very much in that direction. I'm
Yeah.
advanced into that direction. Would you think that this is the right thing to do?
Absolutely. And what I would say to anyone else watching is that, what have you got to lose? So by surrendering, and sometimes we do need to go to the bitter end of that deep dark hole to be able to release and surrender, because the universe is usually giving us those nudges and we're not listening, so something big has to happen, and that's happening on a global scale. But what I like to say is, what have you got to lose if you believe?
Yeah, 100%. And the crazy thing is, and that's another thing that got me so passionate about this topic, is that for everyone listening, if you really, really, really wanted something so badly, and that touches up on law of attraction, but it's not really that. Just like if you really wanted something so badly and you put everything that you got here, all the thinking, all the preparation, all everything, like you went into that flow working on that thing,
Mm,
chances are that it happened, right? Because
absolutely.
this is it. And that's what I learned, that every single time in my life, if I gave every ounce of me into a project, into something that I wanted so badly, it always happened. So now I want something so badly for myself. I am literally right now working as we speak. Send it to me, baby. All your energy you got. Like I know it in my heart that I want that. And that's why I'm believing it, that I cannot have a shadow of the doubt, because only when I believe 100% it will happen. So that's
Mm,
the stuff we're talking about here, people.
yeah,
Powerful, powerful stuff.
very powerful.
Sarah, I want to thank you so very much for your time. I know
Thank
you have
you.
a child somewhere,
Yes,
waiting for you. So I
he's
don't want to
around.
take too much time of you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so glad that he actually cooperated. He didn't cry. He
He
was good. He
did.
was quiet. Yes,
I'm very
beautiful, beautiful
grateful.
thing. Very grateful for that. I would like to tell us two things. Number one, in the book, what was your freebie? You remember you had some meditation, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing, guys. You can use again 99 cents. You buy yourself a book, and then you got all these free resources from
Yeah.
Sarah. It's a meditations that will actually help you clear all your chakras, I
Yes.
believe, right?
Yes, it's a quantum healing audio. So grab that. It's very powerful.
Yeah. And then if someone would be interested to work with you on a deeper level,
Mhm.
your social media handles and your website, how can you be found out there? Because if, like you say, you may be on another continent, on another hemisphere, it doesn't matter. If you can do it over internet, why not, right? You available for that.
Absolutely. So the name of my business is Sarah Chakra Clearing. So it makes it nice and easy for my website. It's sarahchakraclearing.com. My Facebook handle is at sarahchakraclearing.
On
and
Instagram as well, Sarah at
yeah,
Sarah underscore Sarah's Chakras Healing, and
that's
so on.
right.
Because
Yes.
yeah, that is such an amazing thing that you are able to really help people globally. This is a global problem, and now you have an expert who can help globally. Sarah, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on today.
Love and light to you, isn't that
You
right?
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.